Good morning, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm pretty excited. I ordered this Microjig Ripper from Amazon. I think it's been over a week. You know, we're still during quarantine time, so deliveries are taking a long time. And so this thing just arrived. I haven't even opened it. So this is, I just wanted to give you a kind of an experience of what the quick unboxing is going to be like. It's actually a pretty small box. And this is my hand. I don't have my ruler here. Doesn't matter. So let's see what's inside. All right. So we've got a book. Wow, this is actually a very impressive booklet. Color, well printed stuff. I mean, you can kind of tell they spent some money on this. A lot of good instructions, it looks like. I'll be the judge of that, but it's always nice to have good instructions, and that's one of my big pet peeves with some of the better product makers out there. They just don't put good instructions with their products, and what happens is they get bad reviews. And then you've got all the pieces. Now let's just see here. The plastic seems to be pretty nice. Almost has a 3D printed quality to it though, like this part anyway. But this rubber, man, that's nice. That is nice stuff. That is very nice stuff. So here, I kind of want to get it in the light so you get an idea what I mean by the plastic. But it's got some weight to it. It's not super light, you know. That's nice. There's the handle. Feels nice and smooth in the hand. All the hardware. A lot of parts. Ripper. Okay, so that's all the stuff that came out of the box, and I'm going to assemble it and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I noticed that this side is not getting flush very well. And the reason is there's a little bit of plastic material here. I'm just going to go ahead and shave off because it seems like it's interfering with it going flush. So that's a little bit disappointing because they didn't clean this up, it looks like. All right, not a big deal. I mean, whatever. But for 50 something bucks, seems like that should have been taken care of so that it flushes properly. But if yours doesn't, then you can do what I'm doing. While I went and got my knife to do this, I actually got my Weeha precision screwdriver set. If you don't have a set of nice precision screwdrivers, I highly recommend this Weeha set. I'll link it in the description. I've had these for years. I bought them originally probably more than 10 years ago, and they still sell the same set. I bought them from Fry's, which I'm sure is no longer in business, especially after this pandemic. They didn't really have much of an online presence, and I'm sure they're no longer. All right, that's a lot better. It's a lot more flush now than it was before. Okay, let's move on to the next step here. Just gonna tighten these. All right. All right, there we go. It's all done. So that, I mean, including shaving those pieces, that probably only took me about 10 minutes or so. Maybe a little longer, but I was taking my time doing this video for you guys. It's actually pretty substantial. So let me pick up the camera now. It's actually pretty substantial. It weighs, I want to say it weighs about between 1 and 2 pounds probably. So it does have a little bit of weight to it, which is nice. You don't want this to be too light because you want to be able to like press it and grip it. And man, that rubber grips. Like I'm pushing forward kind of as hard as I can, and you can barely, it's barely moving. And this is a nice finished wood table. Yeah, so that grips really well. Next we'll take it to the shop and see how it fares there. Okay, so my camera didn't actually catch this cut, which was kind of the impossible cut I was trying to make. I was trying to separate, well, I was trying to cut a bit off of the miter piece that I want to put in my miter slot there. And that's how much I wanted to reduce it by. So really the piece itself was about maybe 5/8 of an inch, and I wanted to cut that much off of it. And there was really no other way of doing that without this gripper. I mean, there was a way, which would have involved me kind of getting a little too close to the blade and holding the piece to the fence on both sides of the blade as I went through, which, you know, you're never comfortable doing that. And even with the gripper, I still had to use my hand on one end while the gripper stayed on top of the blade. But it's quite nice to have that kind of help. And look at how beautiful. Look at how thin this piece is and how consistent it was cut. So I was pretty impressed, actually. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. And it's something that I have never been able to do without this. And I'm referring to the right edge of this gripper here, that right wall. So that stayed between the blade and the fence on top of my piece as I pushed it through. And then this piece ended up kind of to the left of the blade, obviously, as I got cut away from the main piece. And I'm sorry I don't have that. The footage I showed you, obviously, was to whittle it down a thin bit more. And unfortunately, I wasn't really showing the blade. So not a big deal. But okay, so what are my thoughts on the gripper after having used it now for several hours? Okay, I do like it for things like this, but one of my complaints is that to get any sort of forward movement on a grip, and it could be my fault, right? Because the top of my table saw here, it's got actually a little bit of friction that I've noticed. So it's possible I may have to like wax this or clean it or whatever I might have to do. But I noticed in order to get forward movement and grip, I do have to kind of press hard both in the downward direction and the forward direction. A little harder than I was hoping to. I was hoping the grip would be more, but it isn't. It is very good. It's not excellent, okay? That combined with the fact that I had to like shave the pieces to make them fit correctly, I would say I would subtract maybe half a star for each one of those things. And I would give this a 4 stars. I'm tempted to subtract a little bit more for how expensive it is. I feel like this is a good product for about 40 bucks, not for about 60 bucks, okay? That's just my opinion. And you're getting that opinion because I'm not being sponsored by Microjig. Again, it's probably the best there is out there. I don't know of any other product that can have that support. Oh, by the way, and I used this. I couldn't think when I was sitting at my computer what I would use that for. But obviously I had to use it because the piece was super thin, right? There was no way to hold the piece against the fence and push down at the same time, because it would have been like, you know, if that wasn't there, I would have had to like angle the piece down. But this support kept the piece nice and upright and kept the pressure against the fence. So that was super nice. So to finish what I was saying, I don't know another product that has this support, that has this really nice grippy material at the bottom, is as well manufactured as this is. And certainly none other product that's more hyped than this is. So I heard about that. I heard, you know, literally every woodworker on YouTube has used the gripper. Do I recommend it? Sure. I think especially if you can find it on a sale or something like that, cheaper than 50, 60 bucks. I don't think the value is necessarily there, given that I'm giving it 4 stars. You know, it's not, I don't think it's the full value, but to each his own. I think it's a good product. I am going to continue to use it. It's the best thing I have, because my other thing that I have is basically this push stick that came with my saw, which has already been chewed up a bit. And you can see, like, even my push stick is thicker. That's amazing, right? My push stick is thicker at its thinnest part than the thin wall of the Microjig. So that's cool. So it's actually thicker than thinner than a push stick, which is what you want. And it gives you that downward support that you need. And cool. Well, anyway, if you have any questions, as usual, I'm more than happy to come out to the garage and measure things for you, or answer any questions I may not have in here, any comments, anything I got wrong. I want to hear about it. And what are your thoughts on the gripper by Microjig, and any other products that you think are better than this, or alternatives to this that are cheaper and maybe just as good? I'd love to hear about them. So yeah, give me a shout and let me know what you think. Click that subscribe button if you want to see more reviews of other stuff. I've got a bunch of woodworking tools that have just come in, so I'm probably going to be doing tons of reviews on that stuff soon. So See you soon.